What's up, everybody? Back again, Hunters Association podcast. Damn, what number is this? 5? We on 5, y'all?
Yep.
4 or 5. One of
4
the
or 5
two numbers.
One of those numbers. But yeah, we're back again with another episode. I'm here. JD, y'all know me already. I guess whoever want to go next can introduce yourselves.
I've been gone for a little bit, so it's Big Knox, baby. Project Manga. What's going on?
It's your boy Seraph from Project Webtoons. What's going on, y'all?
What up, what up? It's Trent, motherfucking money. You already know who it is.
Nah, bro, you gotta turn the camera on and spin around in the chair 3 times.
Yeah. That's what I'm expecting.
You turned it on earlier.
Yeah,
You have to turn it on now. Come on, dog.
Yeah,
Gotta-
man.
You gotta do the chair spin.
It's the kick, man. Let me go ahead and give y'all this action for the one time.
Do it for the one time.
Yeah,
Come
do
on,
it
bro.
one time. Get the people what they want. Get them the chair spin.
Let me open this little chat up real quick.
Yeah, dude.
A second. Now I gotta turn a couple more lights on and shit.
Yep. Get the set ready.
This man in the dark.
Watch your him, bro.
He's in the dark with a hoodie on like a hacker.
I don't know where my shit is pointing.
Hey.
What the fuck is going
What,
on?
my boy?
guys? You
What's
already
good?
know who it is.
Yeah. Hey.
There we go.
Glorious.
I'm here to bring you
Glorious.
guys Hunters podcast, a Hunters Association podcast
Yeah.
episode. Somewhere around 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We about to get it in.
Yes,
Damn
dude.
shame one
Fuck
know the
yeah.
number. That's horrible.
No, he
But,
better not be me.
Hey, he did what he needed to do.
Right. All right. But we're here again.
Lights
ready to
back off.
discuss- Oh, go. What'd you say, Trent?
I said lights back off. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My bad.
This guy. All right. But yeah, we back again, ready to discuss solo leveling, of course, and our thoughts on chapter 106, as well as our predictions for the series. And, see if some people were right about this chapter, with what they thought or not. So, Knox, since you've been gone for a while, we're going to start with you.
Yeah.
First off, what were your thoughts on 105?
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to I was, whether you asked me or not, I was gonna try to sneak in a couple, of my thoughts from the last chapter because I can't remember, did you guys talk about how we knew that Igris was gonna get that big ass sword? Like, was that a prediction from the last episode?
Yeah,
we
talked
said
That's
that
the
on
first
Twitter.
thing. That's the first thing that I thought when I saw that shit, bro. So
Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys talked about that last episode or not. Because if not, that's me.
We talked about it on
I don't
Twitter.
think we
were
did.
going depth.
Okay. So that's amazing. The 105 was really cool, and 106 was really good too. A couple other things that I wanted to talk about with 105 was how amazing it is to see Jin-woo cancel the healer, the human healer, after that conversation with the tiger S-class.
Bach.
What is it? Bayek?
Hunter Bach.
Bayek? Yeah.
Bach.
Yeah. I just want to call him Lion-O, just for the sake of but yeah, that was a really wholesome scene. And it shows that, Jin-woo, like, even though he's entered like this god tier status, still has like a little bit of humanity there for him. And I thought it was really cool how he told the cameraman to shut the camera off, like while he did his necromancy, because obviously that's kind of like not a good look for the masses to see him just like raising, dead human bodies the way that he did.
Right.
So I thought that was cool, a little bit of forethought from Jin-woo there. And yeah, man. I am kind of disappointed a little bit though, like as far as like a little bit of criticism goes in regards to like the entire like Jeju Island arc in general. Like I thought that would be a really good opportunity to have Sung Jin-woo maybe not necessarily lose, entirely, but like I just thought it would be more of a struggle, you know what I mean? And I just don't want to see the series get to a point where, it loses all of its like compelling nature because
Right.
Jin-woo, is on a Saitama level, because like it does kind of feel like a One Punch Man, but without like the comedy or like the amazing supporting cast. But for some reason, I'm back every week, hype as hell whenever the fucking chapter comes out. So it's still doing something right, even though that sounds like kind of like a negative, that sounds like kind of like a negative, like thought. But I just feel like how long can it last with this formula? Is basically my thoughts on it. So. And like we were talking about, like I think on the first episode that we ever did, I thought it would be really cool if like some of those other S-class hunters would come into relevance in like one way or another, either through like a shared experience, like party kind of situation, or I just I've said it before, I just need more characters to matter than Jin-woo, and then we still don't know what the nation level hunters can do. I'm excited to see that. I need them to be stronger than Jin-woo, at least for a little bit. Like I need, now that he's entered this like this
God
rank,
territory.
this god territory that he has, like I need someone to be above him at least one time before the end of the series. You know what I mean? Like
You need somebody to put him in check.
just like some, you know what I'm saying? Like something, you know what I mean? Because I just feel like it needs something like that in order to stay like truly compelling. You know what I mean? If this is just going to be a meathead series the entire time, where it's just the main character is playing the I win game from Big Daddy every chapter, you know what I'm saying? Like, then I mean, fine, like it's still going to be an incredible series, but I feel like it could really, enter, a different realm of legendary if there was some tension and there were some stakes and there was something to be worried about at some point in time after he's reached this level. Yeah.
All right.
In one way or another, whether that's nation level hunters, being wildly more capable than him and that being mind blowing, or whether some kind of like planetary threat shows up, or some kind of universal threat shows up, or who knows what the fuck's going on.
Well, it's gonna be one of those. It wouldn't be a Webtoon series without planetary devastation.
Yeah.
The world shall know pain.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a series.
Shibaku Tensei.
Let's go with you next. What was your thoughts on 106?
I obviously I was going in kind of knowing that, like you were saying, it's kind of a shorter chapter, but overall I was still like, damn, I didn't really expect. We obviously expected to get a little bit more Baru action.
Beruem.
Beruem.
Beruem sama.
But I didn't really expect the whole mom thing. That was the queen aunt. That was pretty tight. At least the attempt, and then
and then he was like, "Oh no, baby, what is you doing?"
Yeah, I was like, "Damn, almost had moms out there, but nope." And
You can't be taken by soldiers like this.
Yeah,
You just can't.
But overall, I think it was a pretty good chapter.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah.
I liked it a lot. I liked the name that Jin-woo gave him, because he was like, "Oh, I could just call him Ant King," but then like, what about the other ants?
Yeah.
I can't just keep referring him to Ant. So
Yeah.
and then the fact that like he just thought about like some author about a book called Ants was pretty dope too.
Yeah.
It's just like the small little details I really like about it. And like when the Ant King was on his knee going, "I swear my loyalty to you, my liege," I was like,
Yeah.
this is the first shadow that could talk because of its rank.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already like at it. I'm gonna give you my all. I will give you my life if I have to. You know,
and that's what we was talking about last episode. Y'all was wondering if the shadows will have some kind of resentment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now
because it seems like they're gonna gain a little bit more sentience, like the more rank that goes up. Because in this chapter, he says like maybe if they all, like if Igris or if Iron or if Tank or Tusk or
reach that general,
then they're gonna start talking, right? And if they do, like, what are they going to have to say? I mean, obviously they swear their loyalty to Jin-woo no matter what. So, like, even if they did have resentment, like, what form is that going to be shown in? Like, they're just going to be talking shit amongst themselves in a little clique whenever they're summoned. Like, when they ain't going to do shit.
Like, this motherfucker, he be at the high my
He'll be like, "What'd you say, Tank?" And be like, "Hey, nothing, bro." What bike?
I have a feeling like the first shadow, the next shadow that'll hit the general rank will be Igris, obviously, and then Igris and Beru are probably gonna have like a little squall going on to see who can be like that right hand man.
Competition among the shadows.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd
the competition
sick.
between the shadows to try and gain Jin-woo. Woo,
So like we might see that in like a tactical situation, right? Where Jin-woo like sends a certain shadow, into a tactical position, and then another shadow decides like I can do it better than this shadow, and then fucks up Jin-woo's like tactical strategy, and that creates like contention inside of their ranks in that way because of that competition. That could be that would be awkward as shit to see like how he deals with that.
That'd be a funny scene. To be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. You're
Like,
like, hey, what are you doing?
Angry, you know, like having little marks on his head. Like,
yeah.
Why are you sending him in there?
Yeah,
Shoot me in there. You know,
yeah. Like I told him to do that. Well, you go over here and y'all all over the place.
Right. All right. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So I know last week was Valentine's.
Yeah.
And it was a question I brought up after the show that we completely dropped the ball on. So I'm going to bring it up this time. Where do y'all think Jin-woo and Cha Ha-in's relationship will go now that he's pretty much saved her multiple times?
I've been spoiled already.
Cha Ha is going to get the bad feelings for my boy.
Oh,
I ship it.
But what's up with old B rank healer? She's just like no more. She's just in the dust.
Hey
like,
man, I don't give a fuck.
I mean, we saw her on the shore and everything. And
yeah.
We know Jin-woo was supposed to go back for that date.
Yeah.
If y'all remember that. Yeah, he was supposed to go back. So I mean, he still might go back. Who knows? But
at the same time, like he's fought with Cha Ha like twice now. You know. Like, and Cha Ha is gonna probably end up confessing to Jin-woo, and then they'll probably end up becoming a thing.
Well, I mean, we already know baby girl got a thing for him and everything,
and that's cool. But like at the same time, it's like I feel like I would rather have Jin-woo like kind of like still like end up being with the B rank healer because one like. You got to remember where you came from, first of all. Second of all, like I feel like I
can't upgrade, nigga.
Yeah, and that's cool. But I mean, like,
so you saying my man can't have better?
No. What makes her better? She's just strong. You know what I mean? Because like if you look at like Western comic books, you know what I'm saying. Like you want to say like Superman and Wonder Woman are like the ideal couple. But like that's too easy, and that's why his relationship with Lois Lane is a lot more. There's a lot more depth there because you have this like small human woman that can crumble into dust like no matter what hits her, you know what I'm saying, and then and then like the relationship like there it has like just a more interesting dynamic because it's not like God with God in a relationship, you know what I mean, like.
Right.
So I mean, like I don't know. I feel like just based off like my experience with like Western comics and how they kind of do it over there in regards to how superpowered people date, not superpowered, people is just I don't know. It's just more relatable, like you said, yeah. But I mean, if he does end up with Cha Ha-in, is her name, right? The S-class.
Cha Ha, yeah.
Just say baby girl,
baby girl. You know what I'm saying?
Baby girl, yo.
I mean, like it could. I'm sure it'll be fine both ways. I mean, as long as it's mutual and these characters are in love, then fine. But I don't want. I don't want the B ranked healer to be like, oh, but okay, so you got tight now, and now you need a strong girlfriend now. You're gonna forget about me. I don't want there to be resentment there.
They have been around for years of Jin-woo's hunting career. She was always with him, healing him, making sure he's okay.
It's a lot more history there.
They literally almost died. Jin-woo literally died for her pretty much. And they literally almost died together.
Yeah, it's way more romantic.
There's an emotional, there's like an emotional attachment for that. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm gonna just keep it funky, bro. She ain't worth it. All right, B rank ain't worth it. I'm just
you don't get a say in this.
Look, no. This is just strictly my opinion, nothing else. But she ain't worth it. I'm gonna tell you why she ain't worth it.
Oh.
First of all, look, we all know Jen likes to level up, right?
Oh, sure.
She don't like to fight either.
She don't like to fight. She quit.
She's like Min-Byu,
dog. Dry multiple times.
Yeah,
multiple times. This ain't the first, and now she going for reals this time. All right, for real. She ain't coming back. You ain't never. This the only time you see her. This time we probably gonna see her ever again.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm just being real.
That's real. That's
mad because
she doesn't fight. She doesn't fight. What are we gonna do? Show a panel of her eating SpaghettiOs in a living room? I'm just saying, like she ain't worth nothing.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, you got. There's points on both sides for both love interests, but personally, I mean, and I know that the series isn't gonna like go on like forever. So like trying to compare solo leveling to a story like, like Superman and Lois Lane that has 80 years of publication history for them to do all kinds of fucking stories with and side stories of their relationship to like build that. It just doesn't make really, a whole lot of sense to.
Wow, I didn't even have my mic off for that.
No, but we can see it's video,
I can see you, dog.
Yeah, I can see you. But
I be forgetting that, all right.
But yeah, no, Jay, you made an excellent point. It's a way shorter series. And Jin-woo does like to fight, and Cha Hae-in will kind of like be there, on his side if she, can stay relevant and he doesn't wildly outclass them, and basically
he already outclassed them.
I know, but like if the gap in between, like Jin-woo and Cha Hae-in, might as well be this, like, she's left in the dust like the same way the B rank healer is, like, then when are we ever going to see them in combat together anyway? Because it's like if a threat shows up, that's beyond Beruem, you know what I mean, then like she's gonna have to sit that out anyway. Because she was useless in that fight. So, and unless she levels up in this party system that we all want to see, and he starts bringing people into the fold to get, to level up with him, then that's one thing.
Well, so one thing is she won't be able to level up in a party system because Yu Jin-ho didn't level up in a party system.
That's a good point.
Two, when you think about it, okay, so she's the strongest hunter in Korea. This was established. Yeah. So Goto was the strongest in Japan, and it was already shown that the S-rank hunters in Japan were stronger than the S-rank hunters in Korea.
That's right.
So even if another threat would come up, she would still be useless regardless.
Yeah. But just her willingness to fight makes her more of a love interest.
She could probably fight like the little minions, A ranks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we already been shown that every other, at least in Korea and Japan, obviously, that all S ranks will be useless as far as fighting S rank monsters, unless they're like in a party,
right?
Where they can stand a chance.
So now that's making me think like, okay, so like as Jin-woo continues to increase his power or whatever, and deal with all of these threats, like how is his perception of those under him going to be shown in regards to like his ego and in regards to like his outlook on life now? Like he's eventually going to get to a point where he's almost like Dr. Manhattan levels of, lacking empathy and understanding of humans below him. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be like, y'all are nothing compared to me. How long is he going to retain his humanity after being above them so much on this pedestal for so long?
I think this kind of chapter.
Oh, go ahead, Trent. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I think this shows, and I was on the kind of thing, like I was on the path of Sung Jin-woo may turn evil type shit, as far as or just like lose, like you were saying, lose his humanity. Yeah. But I do think this arc shows that
he still got a little bit.
Yeah, that's not going. I wouldn't even say a little bit, a lot of it, because he, we had never seen him talk to his shadows the way he did in regards to keeping the humans alive.
Yeah,
he, I don't think he's lost a step as far as caring for people's lives goes.
Yeah.
But if you, as we've seen, if you step to him, he might fuck around and end you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And even though he's go ahead. Seraph, how do you feel about that?
I don't know, to be honest.
How do you feel about like
this guy?
How do you feel about like okay, sure. So like even though in this chapter he's still showing like his humanity in regard to like, and in the last chapter with like canceling the the extraction of the summon for the healer.
So personally, I feel like he'll still hold his humanity because he still has his mother and little sister to think about. This whole time throughout this entire series, he was always thinking about his mother. So that's how he managed to still hold the humanity he has.
Yeah.
So in the future, he would probably still have it, considering the fact that he has to think about his mother, who's going to be constantly in danger if a world-class event breaks out, and his little sister too. Like, you never know if something's going to pop up in the city and then like start ravaging shit where the S-class hunters, especially right after this, where all the S-class hunters are like exhausted, completely fucked.
Right.
But I guess
he has to be there to protect his family as well.
His family, exactly. So I guess like my point is like, just because he's still showing signs of humanity right now doesn't mean that he's always going to keep that. We don't know what events can like happen in the future of the story as time goes on that will cause him to lose, you know, his empathy, you know, for the rest of people, you know, everywhere.
Okay.
Like, sure, he'll always care about his mother and his sister, but like he can care about them and not care about anyone else very easily. And I've seen that happen in fiction all the time. You know what I mean? So like, I don't think it's a guarantee that, even though like we would, you know, you could still see that he's still a good person, you know, in these last couple chapters. But like, I don't know how many arcs are left of Solo Leveling, but I just don't think that the guarantee is there, even though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel it.
I understand that.
Like but at the same time, like I guess Jin-Ho would be added to that list too. Then about family, you know what I mean? Because like at the same time, he still like has empathy for Jin-Ho and probably ends up like having empathy for his dad, since we've seen signs of Jin-Ho's dad going through eternal sleep symptoms.
Yeah, he has symptoms.
So like maybe Jin-Woo would probably do something for his dad and stuff like that, considering the fact that he knows what it's like to lose a family member through eternal sleep.
Yeah.
You know. So I guess it's like for certain people he would hold it, but for like everybody else in the world, they could probably just fuck off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just definitely one of those things. I don't think he'll lose it just because he's shown already that what he cares about the most is humanity.
Yeah, he started this whole thing for his, well, I wouldn't say but in his main goal was to get his mom right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if we get to the point where we do start diving into him building a guild, I think, of course, he'll be rocking for them guys too.
Yeah, for sure. Right. For sure.
And now that we already know Bach, you know what I'm saying? But like you were saying earlier, Knox, as far as just like, wanting him to have like more people he's fighting for, I guess you can kind of say.
Yeah.
I think like Bak Young-un would be one of them. Choi would be, you know, people he's already basically kind of rode with.
Yeah.
And Bak Young-un is almost like, you can kind of consider him a homie now. Like we've seen him since, you know, the Red Gate a little bit before maybe.
Yeah, the first Red Gate. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's been kind of like he's been standing by watching Sung Jin-woo like grow this whole time. Yeah.
Okay.
Not to mention he was the first one the only one who realized he can continually get stronger.
That's right.
Yeah. He was the first one.
I feel like Garp knows that too, though.
My man, I brought that up last time about him being Garp.
Gun.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think that he's going to approach him about it on some like, you're like, yo, kick it to me straight,
personal level shit?
Who? Go Gun He?
Yeah, no, Bak Young-un.
Yeah, I feel like he's not. Oh,
I don't think he will.
I feel like, yeah, because like, yeah, all right. Well, I thought that would be pretty fucking cool if he was like, all right, look, bro.
Told him, hey man, stop touching my shoulder. That man ain't gonna say nothing. That man ain't gonna say nothing.
The second time,
he knows his place. Yeah, he knows his place now. That's fine.
Yeah, he knows touching me. It was like, don't touch this nigga's shoulder again. Strike three, you're out of there.
Right.
So, how do you guys feel about like?
Say nothing else.
How do you guys? I
can just imagine him that real life look when he like looks at the hand first and then looks at that nigga, and you know, like you slowly pull your hand back, like not the move.
Just to really touch me.
You want some too, old man? No.
Like, you not just what I just did.
Oh, but
that's definitely a interesting thing. But yeah, I don't think he'll lose his humanity.
Okay.
But, go ahead.
It was just gonna be so off topic, but I was gonna ask, what do you guys think would have happened if he would have ended up facing the guy, the nation rank hunter out of, you know, when he came out the Red Gate?
Oh, you mean the S-Class hunter?
Oh, the S-Class hunter?
Oh, the one who wanted revenge for his little brother?
Oh, the shithead?
Oh, he would have waxed him. No, hell no.
No, Jin-woo would have probably got mopped because he was only in the strength of an 8.
No, because Baek would have fought with him.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind. If that was the case, then
I mean, if you double teaming,
I don't even.
I mean, he's right there. He's right there.
I don't think he needs him because, like, even if he would have went, you know, 10-on-1 with his main shadows, I think he's still winning that fight.
Well, the reason why I say he would have lost is because one, his mana was nowhere near what it is now, and who he had at the time, Igris and Tank. And
no, he had Igris Tank and Iron because he came out the red gate with both of them.
They were like A rank and B rank at most.
Yeah.
That's still a big fight for that. For one,
I mean, it's a big fight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if he just destroying the shadows, Jin-woo's mana would have decreased substantially.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't.
Keep in mind, like when we really got to see Sung Jin-woo compared to the S ranks, he was shitting on him. Like, as far as like when he faced Goto-san, and now obviously it's not like he did some super extra training between that part and the Jeju Island like finale. So it's like he basically
was like already at level 100 when he faced Goto. Like back then, he was like what 30?
Yeah.
He was level like 97 when he fought Goto, and then when he was in the red gate, he was like probably 30. Like 25 to 30.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty big leap.
Yeah, so like at most he was B rank.
His training was the demon castle. That motherfucker said level.
Exactly.
That was his main training.
Yeah.
I think he would have got body.
Yeah, well.
It probably would have it wouldn't have been like low difficulty or nothing. It would probably been high difficulty, but I think he still would have lost.
His name would have been around the red.
But Baek isn't just gonna sit there and watch this shit because he was trying to recruit Sung Jin-woo out the red gate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like it wouldn't have like if the question is like if they would have fought right out the red gate, what would have happened? It definitely would have been a 2-on-1. You know what I mean?
It would have been 2-on-1. It would have been no problem.
Yeah.
No
problem. Taking that factor out just as far as
if it was a 1v1,
3-on-1 because
that's what I'm saying. If it was a 1-on-1,
nobody was.
It would have probably been a 3-on-1 too, though, because there was the dude who's the head of the division class was there too. That A rank right there.
Yeah,
so it would have been two A ranks and an S rank versus one S rank.
Now,
because he's watching over Jin-woo. So like if Hwang Dong-soo wanted to fucking throw smoke with him, Mr. Top of the A rank class over here would have stepped in.
Yeah.
What rank do you guys call him then? Do you guys think he was about A rank?
I would probably say high B, low A.
Yeah.
He was like he was at the breaking point of A.
I feel like
I'll say high B.
Low like if you guys are also going to say that shadows were about B, even taking the other humans out of it, I feel like that's just taking him, Igris, and obviously it does take mana, but that's a quick, like, you get jumped. Like even if he looks down at his little meat friend, these 5 minutes of fight time, you're getting jumped.
That's like 100, also gotta realize B ranks versus one S rank too.
Yeah,
so
but you gotta realize the gap that was stated between S ranks and all the other ranks are substantial. So like even the weakest S rank is probably like 10 times stronger than
the strongest A rank. Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like he was still probably would have lost. It would have been a hard fight, but I think he still would have lost in the end.
Yeah.
Even then, at the time, Igris and Tank would have still been around. Tank would have definitely been around B rank to C rank. You know.
Yeah, and at the same time, I feel like ranks in general, all the way, like from when Jin-woo started this leveling system, are different for him than they are for everybody else in the world. Like they're like I feel like his A rank is not the same as like a motherfucker without the system's A rank.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Okay. So like you also have like that to like factor in too. You know what I mean? Like this is just his like, and we obviously have no examples that confirm this at all. You know what I mean? Because he just shows up and waxes everybody.
It's almost like the system's standard.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing that I had been thinking about as I was going through the series. I was like, what do these ranks even mean to Sung Jin-woo? You know what I mean? Compared to, because he's like a whole different kind of person than what these, than the kind of people that these ranks are for. Yeah.
Yeah. The system's not even leveling like that. The system is going by, actual like number levels. So he's a lot of the times, and this is just me like trying to remember correctly, like he's like hypothesizing, like, I'm probably about, early on, I'm probably about B rank.
Based on the metric used for regular people without the system. Yeah. So like,
yeah. I mean, even if we use that metric and let's say his B rank is probably an A rank, he's still fighting the S rank.
Mm-hmm. But coming out the red gate, he considered himself an A rank, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
I think so.
Yep. When he walked out, he was like, I think I'm about
because he
A rank
smashed
now.
the B rank assassin to get stealth before the red gate.
That was when he was like a C rank too.
Yeah, like
You know?
yeah. So I mean, he would have waxed Buddy, son. Stop. He would have put he would have beat the brakes off, dude, bro.
He would have put the mitts on him, homie.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need his daggers, dog.
Right.
Full fist
He would have
fight,
hit him
dog.
with the Vulcan death grip. put him on his ass.
All right, so let's get into some theories now.
Yeah.
We? Knox, we gonna get some of your theories. First question.
Yeah.
Where do you think the series will go now that Jeju Island is over?
It's a good question. Well, a couple of things that I was thinking of is like what, like obviously like the first thing you think of is like, okay, what's the next big threat? Because it's kind of like this like escalating, like Dragon Ball Z style, enemies introduced, because that's really the only formula that you can really use with a character that's leveling up at a rate that Sung Jin-woo is. So the first question that I had was like, okay, now we're gonna need a new bigger threat than Beruin. But I think it would be really cool if like the series, because there's still like that unresolved like situation where the Japanese Goto and the Japanese like association like had an underhanded like plot to like fuck up Korea during Jeju Island. So like, are they going to get that information? And if they do, Gogun Hee, how is he going to feel about that? You know what I mean? And is there going to be like some kind of like maybe give Sung Jin-woo an arc where he like kind of like isn't really involved, you know what I mean, to like let some of these like secondary characters like like have some time to shine in like a Korea versus Japan kind of situation. And like Sung Jin-woo just like is off doing something somewhere in like another like crazy dungeon or whatever the system gives him, and then while he's gone we get like a compelling secondary character arc like inside of this like Japan versus Korea conflict. I thought that would be cool. Another route that because that they're not just going to leave that plot thread open, right? I mean, like, I don't want to ask you because you read the light novel and like have you confirm anything, but but that makes
what plot you talking about?
The plot like the about how Japan tried to fucking double cross Korea. That information's got to get out. You know what I mean? Eventually, like otherwise, why would you make a point why would you make a point to say like, yeah, we got these Korean motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? This is our plan the whole time in the background, and then it got squashed because of Beruim coming and killing Goto and them, but like still, like I just feel like that would be awkward if they just left that alone. So that has to be a future conflict of some kind, whether it's an entire war arc or whether it's like an internal conflict between like high tiers in Japan and Korea settling it like in a covert, you know what I mean, like clandestine kind of way, where they send like assassins here or whatever, like I just want some kind of like internal or like separate conflict from Sung Jin-woo between other secondary characters. I thought that would be really cool. Another potential story arc that I was thinking about that would be really cool is if like we didn't get right away like the next big threat that Sung Jin-woo has to deal with, and maybe we get like a more grounded like personal like issue inside of Sung Jin-woo's life that he had to kind of like deal with on like like a more like toned down level, so that it wasn't
like
so
something
like
happening with his family.
Yeah, something happening with his family, or something happening like with him losing his grip on humanity, and like how he like kind of like brings himself back down to earth now that he's like entered like a god mode, like kind of way, because he's going to be worshipped by the masses now that they've seen him on camera. You know what I mean? And how is that going to? How is that
by the whole world?
By the whole world, yeah. So like, what's that going to do to his
being national, like world broadcasted? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, what's that going to do for his ego? What's that going to do for his like outlook on life, like as a celebrity now? You know what I mean? So I feel like a grounded, personal Jin-woo arc would be really cool to get instead of like just the next big threat. You know what I mean? And then obviously other logical, possibilities of future story arcs would be like nation level hunters wanting a piece of Sung Jin-woo because they think this flashy motherfucker who handled Jeju Island, is out here kind of, getting a little bit too much attention on our block. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, wait a minute, he think he cool, huh? And then like all of a sudden, blonde dude from America,
because you got a little bug spray and went on the street. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I could see that. I could see the American nation level hunter for sure being like, oh, okay, well, let's go see what's going on then.
Let's see what's tough with it. Let's see what's good with it.
Yeah.
Do you guys think if a certified nation level hunter would have went to Jeju Island, same result?
Yeah.
As far as
I would hope so.
Oh, if they would got the same result.
Yeah, it better be that way.
I don't know because it's hard because we all know the way they've built the world. You have to be in teams.
Yeah.
They can't single-handedly do things like Jin-woo can.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they
but that's for S
brought
classes. But if it's if the difference between S class and A class is like we were talking about, where the weakest S class is stronger than the strongest A class, then if you got the strongest nation level, you know, how big of a gap is that between the strongest S class that there is, and that difference in strength has to be enough to solo a mission like Jeju Island.
But the thing is, and correct me if I'm mistaken, when you get the nation level title, it's almost feat based rather than power based. Is that correct?
I think I remember that.
I'll probably say both, because the feats we've been told that one, you have to complete an S rank, and power based we've also been told because the old Chinese guy on the ship was talking and he said Godo power wise is nowhere near the nation level hunter in China.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
So I guess taking the masses out of it, as far as the, like, you know, obviously like you were saying earlier, that's a dungeon or a raid or whatever that you need way more than one person for, just because of the 8,700 ants before, you know. But what if it was just just Baru versus the nation level hunter? You guys think he would have took Baru?
It's possible.
Yeah, that's a big maybe. Because
I'm 100% confident that he could. 100%.
You got to think about it on how they acquired nation level. What did they have to fight to get that class name? You know, like
especially if they're acting like Jeju. Well, I mean, like they were acting like the Jeju like threat was like the biggest threat the world has ever seen, or something. You know, like when it was
Korea's ever seen.
Yeah, Korea.
Like there had to be a bigger threat before that. You know what I mean? For them to be able to acquire the nation level class,
right?
But it's just because that Korea didn't have enough money to pay off the nation level guys to recruit them. You know,
I mean, not
like
really,
we saw a big burly blonde guy. You know, he was like, "Y'all ain't got money." Oh, sorry.
No, you good. Keep going, bro. Keep going.
No, big burly blonde guy was like, "So what do you guys got in it for me?"
Yeah.
You know, and then they couldn't put up with what he wanted, so then they couldn't recruit him to fight Jeju Island. That's why all the nation level hunters did not want to fucking attend, because they didn't have what they could pay out.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just gonna say, I would say not really, just because those things that made them nation level hunters could have been just the biggest they had seen thus far. But if these catastrophes are continuing to get bigger because of the impending system crash or whatever the fuck is happening or coming, you know, again, it could have just been, like I said, the biggest thing they had seen thus far, and that this specific hunter did it. We're dubbing him a nation rank hunter. You know what I mean? Like, it could still be a gap between, like, you know, I guess the difficulty between the missions, but this seems like Knox was saying, like, this is one of the world's biggest things. Like they were getting out, you know, they were like taking actual bodies. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you would think that if it was the world's biggest thing, you'd think like that's an automatic no-brainer for the nation levels to be required to go. But, you know, I don't know.
Okay, so wait a minute. So Jin-woo's dad, when he came out that gate, said something was coming, and he wasn't talking about Jeju. Like, we know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the threat that he meant.
We weren't talking about Jeju.
Okay. I just wanted confirmation on that because I couldn't remember.
Because Jeju had already basically, like...
Yeah, Jeju was already gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we already know something bigger is coming. It's just, what is that bigger? So
that's crazy.
Most likely that will be the end game.
Yeah, 100%. It would have to be, because what do you tell after that? Like when you have like this prophecy, like kind of like, you know, like situation coming up, and like I think that we have a confirmation that, at least from like the light novel people, that like the story is like already over and it's like not that much longer after Jeju or whatever that people were saying online. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it said that we're like 70% done with the story or something like that. So I don't know. That's just what I heard. So maybe you can confirm, but like after Jeju, I heard that there wasn't that much story left. So if there is like this big prophecy moment coming, you would think that would have to be the last thing that they do.
Let me think.
Last stream,
go ahead, Trent.
I was just gonna say last stream we were kind of talking about the length, and if I'm not mistaken, JD, correct me if I'm wrong. This was he was kind of saying this was more or less the halfway-ish point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the light novel was, what'd you say, 257, 270 chapters or whatever.
It was 270 without the side stories.
So if they decide, and I think you were saying that it took a couple small liberties, like if they continue down that path and we've already at 105, I think we at least got another, if we get one chapter a week and it's going to be 200 chapters, we got at least 2 years to solo leveling left.
Right. Also, if they keep doing like the webtoon only stuff, that's only going to prolong it. Like for instance, it's not a spoiler, it's just the difference, like kind of how I said last week. In this chapter, he in the light novel, he didn't send Baru to finish off the ants. He finished off all the ants by himself.
Did he?
And with his army.
Oh, so, word.
He slid with everybody.
Yeah, he did with everybody.
Oh.
So this was something new where it showed like the other hunters and guilds fighting the ants, and that he sent Baru to, finish off all the ants.
Well, I don't know. Maybe next chapter they show him out in the field a little bit too, because that was just like one location, right? There's still 40.
That's right.
Yeah, 4,000. So I don't know, but he asked Baru if he can kill all 4,000. I'm guessing they're right.
He did say, "Give me the order," and I'm out.
He put the all black forces on and the do-rag. He went right to it. Threw the Dewey on with the tins.
Like light work, fam.
He put on the black forces and the do-rag, brother. He was about to hit that piccolo.
He says, "Say less."
Right, that's all you had to say, boy. I was waiting to fuck him up. He was like, "I'm ready."
I thought it was gonna be to a thing where maybe he still had like some type of command power over him, and he would like almost like call him back type shit. But even then, him saying like
pull aggro and then
the word, that was still good.
Just say the word, I got you.
Yeah. So like, okay, so then about that actually reminds me. Okay, so Beruem is a general rank shadow. Obviously, Igris and Tank and the rest of his like main shadows are probably going to reach that level. Is that the last like level? Like what's above like general and like a regular like military like hierarchy? Is it like corporal or like no?
Well, marshal.
Marshal, yeah, marshal. Is it marshal?
Marshal should be above general.
Marshal should be above general. Okay, and then is there anything above marshal? I have no idea, but Commander. There we go. That's the one that I was trying to think of. Okay, so is he gonna get like marshal and then like commander level fucking, like, and what does that mean if they're like talking already and like, sentient, to some degree, like inside of the general rank? Like, are we going to see
for light novel confirmation?
No. I'm just trying to ask like a thought provoking question, like, because if they're talking in general level and there's one or two ranks above that, like what level of sentience is that going to bring? Like, could we potentially be seeing like a rebellion? Obviously, if at any point in time he can just cancel the summon, and like if they start to get like out of hand, but if they do start like, maybe getting like a little bit more of a mind of their own, like, is that going to create like a compelling like contention situation inside of Sung Jin-woo's power scale or system with his shadows? You know what I mean? Can he get too big for his britches, basically, with these shadows? Is like, I guess, the question that I would ask for the series. But
I thought so last week, but just now as you're like saying it, I'm like, at the same time, his intelligence or whatever is going to grow, whatever it is that is allowing him to control it. He's just going to also become stronger. So by them becoming stronger, he don't even really have to, he can kick back and let them do the work. He's still gonna get stronger.
Yeah, you're right.
Now it's like,
I'm trying to think of it like a you catch a Pokemon that's too high for like your badge level.
Yes, I said the same reference last time. I was like,
like Charizard don't want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Charmeleon.
8 badges and Charizard still ain't doing.
Yeah, Charmeleon even was like, this motherfucker.
Piece of crap.
Yeah.
This dumbass motherfucker want me to use flamethrower? Nah.
Yeah, I'm using tail whip. Now what? Let's see how that works.
You want me to use flamethrower? Nah, you about to get this tail whip.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever happen though for the shadows because of simply because of the system and how it works.
Yeah.
But the system will keep the shadows in check, type deal, But if they want to try and go against the system, then who knows what would probably end up happening? Because like we all know, Beru has his own free will. Essentially speaking here.
No, I don't know if it's free will. I just think that he can.
Well, most of the
to a certain extent.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, he has his own will.
Yeah. His own will.
I swear to God, I guarantee you eventually he's going to end up wanting to learn to speak more Korean or something. Probably watch TV on his own or some shit.
All you got to do is eat somebody. And then he learns the language.
Yeah.
But then Jin-woo's not going to let that happen.
Unless it's like a think he fuck around and might.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you want to know what? I'm kind of curious about this. Go ahead and eat this pickpocketer. Go ahead and eat this perch snatcher.
That girl was being mugged in the ass. Jin-woo was like, "Look, Orc, if he don't turn himself in at midnight, kill him."
Yeah,
but
that's
he gave him an ultimatum.
Yeah, at that point in time.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But nowadays, with Jin-woo slowly losing his emotions, his humanity, who knows what he might
that's
do.
the conversation we were having earlier. Yeah, that's the conversation we were having earlier. Like, how long is he going to be in power like this? Plus, with the societal like impact that his broadcasted, conquering of Jeju Island is going to have on his like celebrity status, like all of these like factors that play into like boosting his ego and like taking him away from a humble situation. On top of leveling and getting stronger, like how long is he is he the kind of person that can hold on to this humanity forever? You know what I mean? Just like a motherfucker, who's at your job that gets a promotion and don't know what to do with the power and turns into a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's had a job like that.
The hall monitor.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like they get a little bit of, like dominion over other people, and then they turn and they go crazy with it. You know what I mean? So like now imagine that, exemplified 100,000 times, and you're a god of an entire planet and no one's fucking with you. Like, how long are you going to be a cool ass dude for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that would be a really cool way to like, transform his character into something that he has to internally struggle to keep himself humble and to keep himself grounded to humanity. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like that would be really good for the storytelling. But
do you guys think that there's still going to be any more dungeon type like exclusive to him dungeon type situations?
Well, he's level 100 now, so I mean, like, I need to know if he levels up past 100 or if 100 is the cap and he just like goes to get like 100% of the game now. But not he's if it's like a completion kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, does he have more items he wants to go get? Because like if he does go past 100, then what's the level cap? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like since he hit level 100, he hasn't gotten a cursed item yet, or like a blessed box or anything like that. No message from the system giving him something.
Yeah. The
second he hits like a random number, like 101 or 109 or something like that, it's gonna give it to him, because like as stated before, he hates odd numbers. So the system's gonna fuck with him and make him give him something at an odd number. And then we still got to get answers on the double dungeon anyway, so like the system is probably gonna tell him to go back to the double dungeon.
Oh yeah, we need a double dungeon retribution arc.
Exactly.
He's got to go back and see what's up with old cheese face, cheese and ass.
So y'all think Jin-woo will get a message from the system saying, "Hey, go back and defeat the double dungeon"?
No, I think
guarantee he's gonna be at level 101. He's gonna get a random item from the dungeon from the system, and it'd be like, okay, you gotta wait for a little bit longer till you could use this item.
Yeah.
You know how when you get items and it's like it's just a hidden,
yeah,
and then like you gotta wait till you hit a certain extent.
Yeah,
it's just gonna give it to him once he hits 101. I swear to God, he's hit 100. It's just gonna fuck with him at this point.
I don't know if the system's gonna tell him to go back to the double dungeon or if he's going to. I don't know. I feel like the system would have to tell him to go back to the. Well, no, because the double dungeon kind of spawned on its own before the system. So like,
or did it?
What if it popped up just because of Jin-woo showing up? You know?
No, I don't know.
What if like you talking about like it chose him specifically?
Yeah, it chose him specifically to become a player.
Kind of like,
You know what I mean?
We already know that the system controls pretty much all.
Yeah.
As far as the dungeons, the creatures in the dungeons,
100%.
Jin-woo and his leveling. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility if the system did recreate the double dungeon all over again. for him to go back.
Yeah.
To go back and find answers.
Oh yeah, to whether it's to find answers or maybe get his rematch that he's been wanting or whatever the case. It's not out of the realm of possibility that eventually he might go back.
Mm-hmm.
What if I want to say that double dungeon has something to do with his dad too, but his dad was caught up in that one dungeon the whole time. You know what I mean? While Sung Jin-woo was pretty much the entire events of the story. But I just want to feel like his dad has like something to do with the system itself. You know what I mean? Like
maybe not, but maybe he knows.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. I think we talked about that in the first episode that we had for this, about how connected to the system his dad was. And I think one of us did mention like, what if his dad is the system? I don't remember. I think you might have swatted that down though as a light novel reader, or I don't remember. I have to go back and watch the episode, but that would be nuts, bro.
That would be nuts.
Holy shit.
That would be.
But bottom line, what I'm positive of is that Igris is getting the fucking big ass heavy broadsword or whatever the fuck he got
with the AoE lightning attacks.
With the AoE lightning attacks that he got from the fucking demon castle. So he's definitely, I know he's
Imagine
getting
Igris with that thing, bro. He's gonna be
that's
he's gonna be out here.
because like, okay, so Beru's general level now. And like he's gonna look at his people and be like, I don't really know like if I wanna do my original, like my main dude like that, like my first real shadow. Like I kind of want to keep him, like close to, the top as I possibly can. So let me give him this. Let me give the OG this broken ass, Buster sword. It kind of looks like the ultimate weapon you get in Final Fantasy X for Titus. Calibog. Can't remember
Something
what it
like
is.
that.
Yeah, but like the final Final Fantasy X sword, it kind of looks like that. But
ain't nothing wrong with third place.
No, third.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So wait, Jin-woo's first?
Yeah, we can go with that.
No, bro, don't do this.
Wait, third?
Don't do this.
He's gonna get another one.
Don't do this, bro.
I didn't.
So,
all I said was nothing wrong with third.
Last episode, I brought this up because like we don't know what the system was about, but then like they keep bringing up Shadow Monarch. What if there was an original Shadow Monarch and then he's just passing on his legacy to Jin-woo?
Wow.
So then there's like a whole original Shadow Army that'll pop up later on.
Wow.
And there was already a general in said Shadow Army. He gains that shadow. You know what I mean? That's where the third comes from.
No.
I swear to God.
No, I swear. Okay, because now that you're saying
where fourth comes from.
No, bro. Okay. Okay, so look, bro. All right, look, bro. So that means
me like this?
so that means so Beru is one. And or whatever.
Beru is already one.
Yeah, Beru is one, and then
Igris would be two.
Igris would be two.
Igris can either be 2 or 3, depending on if you consider TiC stronger than Igris.
Oh yeah,
because of the orb of avarice.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, so if he has the orb of avarice, but then you give this sword to Igris, he's still below TiC with the orb of avarice.
I don't know. That's what I said.
He better not be.
You consider
that's the OG, bro.
Than Igris. Then,
come on,
Igris can be number 3 now if you consider TiC stronger. Because TiC, he can grow giant, he can get smaller. He has the orb of avarice, which boosts all of his magic powers.
Yeah, he has the hymns,
hymn of protect, the fire.
He's got 12 different abilities compared to Igris's.
Yeah, that dude is busted. That dude is busted. Yeah, but I feel like Igris with the sword will take his ass.
I mean, if you can get into a hand-on-hand combat, then yeah. But TiC, if Igris and TiC were to fight, I don't think TiC would let him even get close.
But
and even if
Igris outspeeds him.
Yeah, but TiC has the hymn of protect.
But Sung Jin-woo got through that with physical ability. I mean, it's Sung Jin-woo. I know it's Jin-woo. I know Jin-woo is much stronger, but I mean like Igris, I don't know, man. I feel like Igris could recreate that Sung Jin-woo versus TiC fight. Yeah.
I agree though that Igris ain't getting close.
Oh.
Y'all talking my boy down like that.
I know, that's come on, bro. That's what really had me when he got Igris. That's what really had me like. I'm reading this for the rest of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay, I'm here for the long haul with this.
I can't remember what got me in it. Like, what was like. Honestly, I really do think that it was the intensity of that double dungeon. Like,
yeah, that was a very strong first arc.
There was so much tension in that double dungeon. It was ridiculous.
Butt clenched for days, bro.
I was just like,
I'm literally like, bruh.
Like, so I started reading with it, like, when it was like chapter 7 type thing, you know?
Yeah.
I was like sitting there. When the fuck is the next chapter?
Yeah,
Fuck, I gotta know what happens to my boy,
man, you've been reading it
like,
since then.
Yeah, I've been reading it since
here like, I know they just ain't gonna leave my boy in here by himself. When they started running out on him, I'm like,
yeah, they said
my man here by himself. After he done saved y'all.
Right.
Y'all running out the door. I'm like, bro.
Why y'all gotta be bitches like this now? Why y'all gotta leave a homie like that?
Yeah.
Right.
And he's been helping y'all survive through.
But they're talking about it. They're like, man, we got families at home. This kid's an E rank. Like, put yourself in that situation, bro. What you doing? You're out that motherfucker, bro. I don't give a fuck.
I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have left him too.
Yeah. I see my children in my mind, and I look at this motherfucker and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Looking
bro.
around,
Hey, man, it was gonna be your time eventually.
Oh.
Yeah, look.
But
in that moment, though, look.
Perspective, I'm like a single man. I don't got nothing for really except for the homies.
Yeah, so you would have stayed for sure.
What you saying, Trent?
What were you saying, Trent?
I was just saying in that moment, though, you were already watching a couple people body drop from not listening to him, man. I'm like,
yeah, that's true too, though.
That is true.
That's what I was gonna bring up. You see a couple bodies just.
That's actually a good thing to bring up, Trent. If everybody would have listened to him and stayed, would he have received the power of a player?
Probably not, dude, because
it depends on if he would have been the last to be on that thing, right?
But he wouldn't have been.
But like, if you think about it, also because like he was the only one who had the wits, the brain, and not really the power, but the willpower to stick around for it and be able to direct everybody what they're doing. He would probably still get it, considering the fact that he was the leader throughout the whole operation.
Yeah, I think that like pedestal that he was on with the candles, was specifically to weed out one last person. You know what I mean? Because like if all of them would have stayed, then the dungeon would have just killed everybody, I think. You know what I mean?
Possible.
Yeah, but I feel like it was to find a player. And that's what that like ritual, was for, and to see
or kill everybody.
Yeah, kill everybody or find a player, exactly.
All right. Yeah. What time then we're coming up on that?
I think we're at almost like an hour and 15 minutes.
All right.
We've been going.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get our final thoughts. All right. Our thoughts for how next chapter is gonna go 107. Trent, let's start with you. What do you think gonna happen in chapter 107?
We'll probably first, couple slides, couple pages. We'll probably, see a little bit more cleanup. And then we'll start to get Sung Jin-woo going home and the impact that it has globally. But yeah, I'm really hoping it's a long chapter. Yeah. I'm not really expecting like anything jaw dropping, as arcs end. But I do enjoy I always do enjoy the end of arcs because it's like, you just kind of get to see how everything ends up tying together and like what the next. Or just where the character's going from there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. What about you, Seraph?
For me, kind of on the same page. Like we're gonna get like 1 or 2 panels of cleanup. I feel like they're gonna, because there's like 4,000 ants left. Jin-woo's gonna hit 101. He's probably gonna get a random gift from the system for hitting 101. I'm so stuck on that. I don't know why. But he's gonna get a random gift from the system. But then like it's just gonna be an unknown thing. And then later on, we're gonna have to get to what the unknown thing leads up to, and then he's just gonna go home, spend time with his family, and then we're gonna get side panels of Japan freaking out. We're gonna have side panels of group chats talking about how Japan ditched Korea.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably start getting other panels between other countries going, okay, we gotta go to Korea, we gotta try to recruit Jin-woo.
Yeah.
All right. Knox.
I'm kind of on the same page as Seraph and Trent, but I feel like it'll focus a little bit more on like Sung Jin-woo at home with his family, because like he's gonna encounter them after they've seen the footage and see how much differently his family looks at him now that they've seen him in that element. You know what I mean? And how that's going to affect his home life. I feel like is going to be a major thing that's hopefully I would be what I want to see the most in the next chapter at the very least. Because I'm like, as soon as I realized it was broadcasted and everybody was going to see, like what he could really do, obviously my first thoughts was going to be like the world is going to worship this dude, but then also like I thought about like what that meant at home, because his sister, you know, and especially his mother don't know that he's tight like that, because he doesn't really talk to him about it. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited to see that you know, that family, you know, interaction there. Also, yeah, and you know, like Seraph was saying, like we're gonna get a reaction, you know, page from Japan, from watching the footage, from America watching the footage, from all of these other countries acknowledging and recognizing, you know, Jin-woo as this crazy hunter that just came out of the woodwork. So the media is about to go nuts, bro.
As far as me, I'm gonna go with y'all. I think it's just gonna be showing cleanup, and I do think we're gonna get a glimpse into Bok Choy and an update on Cha.
Yeah.
I think, you know, that's about due.
Yeah.
You know, that we get an update on him, see if they made it back safely. Did they have any ants flying behind a chopper? You know, since they all scattered and everything. So I think we're gonna get an update on them. And probably everybody just praising God Woo.
God Woo
when he makes his return.
It's the God.
Kami-sama.
Yeah.
I think everybody just gonna praise him. That's about what I expect anyway, but I have no idea, because they might do some. I don't know what the hell they might do some extra shit.
Yeah,
we'll never know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Because I can even say what I think from the light novel, what's gonna happen, but they've been doing Webtoon only shit.
Yeah.
Fucks, you know, the whole pacing up of what I expect to happen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I do think that will happen, and I think we will probably get like a teaser of what's gonna happen in the next arc.
Hell yeah.
Because you have to, you know, give some kind of direction after this.
Right.
A little bit of foreshadowing.
Yeah, and this isn't really
like
a series where you get a whole
teaser
lot of downtime in between arcs. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind a few. I don't mind a few chapters of world building as long as it's good. Now, if it's a whole bunch of, if it gets to the point where it's an ignorant amount of like
miscellaneous,
text about like, I don't know, you know, kind of how you can almost like some of it is not necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as long as it's a quality build, I'm cool with it. I don't always need the action. I actually enjoy the system building and like the figuring out like what's going on next aspect. I would say probably even more than the battles, because you already know, at least up until now, it's a wash.
Yeah.
It don't matter who is running up against.
One Punch Man.
Yeah, so we just want to know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that's all we got for y'all today.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all for stopping by for the Hunters Association podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Again, I still have no idea what episode this is, but we'll figure that out later.
Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you guys really want to, share among the other hunters out there.
Yeah.
Right.
And check out our individual
also,
YouTube channels.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, check out our individual YouTube channels. We'll have the links for those down in the description.
Right. And also, y'all let us know what y'all think about the discussion today in the comment section below. What are y'all theories? What are y'all thoughts on the chapter? And are any of us close to being correct on our theories, or are we all far off?
Or we fucking up somewhere.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to know that. Don't say that. No, definitely do. Definitely do. Definitely
let us know.
Put a spoiler disclaimer.
Yeah, for sure.
No, try not to do too many spoilers, but just let us know if we're hot, warm, or cold.
There we go. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
But I'm JD, Knox, Seraph, Trent.
Peace.
And we out. We're gonna holler at y'all next time.